Hey, Grace, it's Stephen again. And by now, you know what we're doing. We are trying to put some information and kind of get to know the worship team. It's interesting because we're usually on the platform before service starts and then after. And so sometimes it's difficult for us to get to know people or for people to get to know us. And so we want to provide that opportunity for our congregations to learn a little bit about those people that you see each and every week that are up on the platform. And so with me today is Chelsey. So Chelsey, will you tell us a little bit about yourself, your family, what you do, and all that stuff?
Yeah, so my name's Chelsey Abbott, and I'm married to my husband, Wesley. It'll be 9 years this June. And we have two stepsons. So he has two sons. So I have two stepsons. One of them is 20, and the other one is 15, and he attends school in Muldrow. We love our dogs. And that's kind of how our house works. I teach senior English in Van Buren, but I also work part-time at Valley Behavioral Health here in Fort Smith.
That's awesome. How long have you guys been attending Grace?
Okay, so I know when we got married, we became members, but I think I attended Grace for a few years in the old building, in the youth building in Stumin, before I moved away for my first job. So I've probably attended Grace a total of 15 years or so. But we've consistently attended Grace since we got married. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. You were one of the first people that we met when we came on staff 6 years ago, or I guess it'll be 6 years in January. And so you were already on the worship team, but how long have you been serving on the worship team?
I guess when you got there, it was probably about my 6th year, I guess, because I started right after we joined as a married couple, I think, kind of working my way onto the worship team. So that was a new venture for me, since I'd always done traditional piano playing. So it was a big change.
Yeah. It's been awesome. And that's one of the things that I think everybody that I've interviewed so far has always kind of touched on the fact that, it's such a unique place to serve because it's sort of the vulnerability aspect, especially when it comes to like musicians and kind of giving of our gifts and the things that God's blessed us with, and just being able to give them back and try to not only lead other people, but be in worship ourselves. That's a pretty massive deal. And it's awesome too. It's a great privilege. It's not something that we feel like we have to do. It's something that we get to do, and so it's fun. And I hope that we've created sort of a little family, where we kind of talk and walk alongside each other. And
Yeah.
that's been my favorite part of it, especially having been here for the last 6 years. And so, so you've been around for quite a while, Grace. Anyway, you've been around Grace for quite a while. Tell me about one of the most memorable experiences. And it doesn't have to be like worship stuff, but it could be, Grace wide. Just what's one of your most memorable experiences since you've been at Grace?
I think one of my most memorable experiences is how when you go to a service, even if you don't know the person, you speak, you say hi, you just kind of slowly get to know them. I've always enjoyed that. And then, we're all creatures of habit, so we all typically sit in the same place every Sunday. So you kind of grow to know the people around you, even if maybe you don't hang out with them outside of church or whatever, but you just kind of get to know them. And I think that's really neat, where you kind of have your group, I guess, that you sit with. And it's fun, and it's fun when someone sits down that you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, Grace is it's probably one of the most friendly churches that we've been able to be a part of, and that's always been something that's meant a lot to us too. Because it just feels like home. When we came on staff, I'd been praying for years that God would give us roots, and I knew the first time that we came on staff that this was our place. This is family,
Mm-hmm.
and so we've been incredibly blessed to be a part of Grace for as long as we have. So Along those same lines, though, and you've been serving on the worship team for a long time as well, if you can, which it's been really difficult for everybody that I've interviewed so far, and that's okay. I'm not, but it's difficult for me too. But what's your favorite worship song that we do, or favorite worship songs that we do, and why?
I kind of like some of the faster paced ones that have kind of like a country rock beat, just because that's kind of where I like to go. But then sometimes I really like the slower ones we do, where the words are more powerful. To me, they're more powerful sometimes because the beat allows you to think maybe more about the words you're saying, because you're not moving as fast, but you can really kind of mull over those words and think about kind of what that means to you in that moment or through whatever situation that you happen to be going through, because we all go through different things and different songs mean different things to certain people at certain times. And then I like it when we add some new stuff in there, because we like to play the same stuff because people know it and it's fun, because the congregation gets to sing along with us, and we really like that. But as someone who plays them all the time, sometimes they become old hat, I guess. Yeah. And so sometimes it's fun to get new stuff in there, because you're like, oh yeah, but this says the same song, same as this other song, but since it's different now, so.
Yeah, that's a unique look into the life of folks that are on a worship team, is that for the congregation, they hear it once a week. For us, like, we hear it and we play it sometimes up to, the whole time. And it's like, both services as well as rehearsal, and then run through on a Sunday morning. So by the time it comes to that point, I mean, my goodness, we've played it, half a dozen times, if not more. And then the more, frequent that you do those songs, and it becomes like you said, like an old hat. And so it's really funny. Some of the songs that people say, oh, I love that song. I'm like, I can't, that song is one of those things that you're like, oh, I hate playing it, because you've done it so long, but it's so much fun for other folks, and it means something different to everybody. And I think that's kind of the cool thing about
it. Yeah.
About definitely. What we get to do. It's awesome. Hey, all right. So lastly, and I intentionally didn't put this on the email because I wanted it to be sort of a off the top of your head type of answer, but it's clear that you love your family, and it's clear that you love your church, and you love being on the worship team. But tell us something like, what's your favorite thing to do outside of those things?
I really like to spend time with my husband. He works a lot and I work a lot. So when I don't go to church, or when we aren't at church, one of the things we really like to do is just spend time together. And we just bought bicycles, which, by the way, there is a shortage on bicycles if you haven't looked for them at Walmart or Academy or wherever. Yeah. We just like to do stuff outdoors. If I'm by myself, I'm probably not going to be outdoors. I'm going to be inside reading a book, binging some show on Hulu or Netflix. But we really enjoy spending time together, and he likes to be outside. So we may fish or try a new hobby like riding bikes or work in our flower gardens. We've planted a little mini garden to see if we could grow some vegetables this year. So we just like to do stuff together. Yeah.
Yeah. And Wesley's schedule is crazy. I mean, like, you guys, I absolutely understand that. And that's one of the things I think that Ashley and I have really found, in this time of being self-isolated and quarantined, is just the quality time that we get to spend together, whether we're outside playing, badminton, or jumping on the trampoline, or going for family walks, or having family worship in the evenings. I mean, it's nice just to be able to really truly commit that kind of time to your family, at least that's
like, you remember the things you fell in love with them for, not that you forgot them, but you've had the time to slow down and really see those things. And like me being at home, not working from home in whatever capacity, I'm not as stressed out for my job or feel like I'm torn in so many different directions. So you really get to sit down and think about those things and then remember those things. And so it's been really nice to kind of reconnect unintentionally. I mean,
yeah,
that's what totally happened. I mean, we love each other and that's that, but it was unintentional to remember all the things that we really love each other for. So
Yeah.
it's been kind of nice.
Yeah. It's like, you know that you love that person, but you're reminded that you really like that person too. You know, like you really like being with them. Yeah. I'm absolutely right there with you.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. Well, that's pretty painless. That's about it. Again, I just wanted to put some info to your face, and if it's okay with you, I'd like to pray, and then we'll call it quits. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, awesome. Father God, thank you so much for this day, and thank you so much for the gift of music and the gift of worship and praise, and what it means to folks like Chelsey and I, that we get to use the gifts that you've given us to bring glory and honor to your name, and prayerfully lead other folks along with us. And Lord, we're so thankful to have Chelsey with us and being able to worship alongside her. We're thankful for Wesley and her, just their marriage and what it looks like for not only for those of us that are watching them, but also, Lord, what it means for your kingdom, and the expression that they have for each other exemplifies who Jesus is calling us to be. And so we thank you so much for them and what they mean to us as a Grace family, and what they mean to your kingdom. Father God, we give you all glory, we give you all honor, we give you all praise. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.